everyone, welcome to my rather enormous book haul. Some of these books, there's a few that are from Bookoutlet, but the rest are from Awesome Books, and I've been meaning to do this video for a while, but just life got way too busy, so I'm hopefully sitting down to show you these books that I purchased. So Awesome Books is an online bookstore based in the UK, and they sell used books, but also new books. And many of these titles I've been looking at for quite a while, and I've been meaning to purchase them off Amazon, but a lot of these are based in the UK, or published in the UK rather, and to even ship them to Canada was more than what the book was worth. And on Kindle, sometimes they're available, sometimes they're not, but they're still somewhat expensive if I can get them on Kindle. And also I check my public library, so I can go online to all the libraries in London, Ontario here. And I looked up the titles, I looked up the authors, and they're not available. The majority of these aren't even available in our libraries here. So I guess it's because they're just published in Britain, and you know, sometimes they end up here, sometimes they don't. So I did check my public library, but no luck. So I figured, well, Awesome Books has these on for a very good price. And if you go on the website, on the top right corner, you can see what the price is in US dollars, Canadian dollars, other various countries also, instead of just the pounds. Now, I've made probably about 10 orders off Awesome Books. Yes, I know I'm going a little crazy. Each order had about 5 to 7 books each. Now, sometimes I do get charged for duties and tax. Probably on maybe just a third of the orders I got charged for duty. And then I would look on the outside package, and an order that only cost $25 Canadian, they have on there that the value is $267 or something. I'm going, what? These are used books, and even if they're new, they wouldn't cost that much. So I went online and went to their customer service. So it's cs@awesomebooks.com. And I thought, oh, they're going to take forever to get back to me. But like within 12 hours, they got back to me and said, sorry, just we'll give you your money back. Just send us a copy of the customs fee. So I did that. I emailed them and said, this is my order number. And then I sent back a picture of the custom notice and also the actual packaging showing how much the value was worth. I said, this is like a totally inflated value for what I paid. So like within 5 business days, they always gave my money back. So if that is a concern, customer service is quite good. They always got back to me quite quickly, and I always got my money back from the customs. So if that is a concern, they do get back to you quickly and you get your money back. But I find it's worth it getting my used books at this website because I've wanted these books for so long. And anyway, that's one thing to watch out for. So anywho, actually I'll start with the books I got from Bookoutlet, which is an online store based in Canada. And now a couple of years ago, and I've been meaning to get to this book, I did purchase Hild, which is a hardback. I think it was during one of the $7.99 sales. And this takes place in 7th century Britain in, I believe around that time, if I remember correctly, the Romans had already retreated. So there's a lot of these small tribes vying for power in that. And it follows this one particular girl. And since then, a little while ago, they've had the sequel to this, Meanwood by Nicola Griffith. This is a chunky boy. Like this one's, it's huge, like 600 pages. But yeah, I just love that time period. So Anyway, and then the next books I did get from Bookoutlet is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. So yeah, this has been fairly popular recently, and I don't think I'll go into livid detail with any of these synopses too much because I got so many books. But it does sort of like a magic realism type of book, and I believe a library's involved. And then these two books I thought were just so funny. This is by Jasper Ford, and this is the first two books in the series. So the first book is The Big Over Easy, and the second book is The Fourth Bear. So of course these are kind of comedic books. And welcome to the seedy underbelly of nursery crimes. So Inspector Jack Spratt is investigating the murder of Ovid D-class nursery celebrity Humpty Dumpty. So yeah, they even have like an autopsy picture of Humpty Dumpty and all the cracks and that he had. So he's investigating the murder of Humpty Dumpty. And The Fourth Bear, Jack Spratt and Mary long to collar the gingerbread man, a psychopath, sadist, criminal genius, and a cookie. So that's his mugshot, the gingerbread man. So yeah, I've heard good things about these. Sometimes you just need a funny book to take you away from all the miseries that's happening around us. So yeah, those look so good. And then this is by Olive E. Blake, Alone in the Ether. So yeah, I've heard pretty good things about this. Very good prose, very good writing. A lot of people say it's a little pretentious, but anyway, it was on the $7.99 sale, so I thought I'd pick that one up. And then this is Honeycomb by Joanne Harris. So a while ago, I did read one of her books, and it was based on the folklore of Selkies. So these are people who live in the sea, and when they come to land, they turn into men or women. They go back to the sea. They put on they're like seal skin again. So I actually really did rather enjoy that. So this one is another illustrated book from Joanne Harris, and I believe there's a number of stories in here, but somehow they get all connected at the end. And there is some colored illustrations in here. And then interspersed throughout is some of these black and white pictures. So yeah, that one looked quite good. All right, to go on to, sorry, you're going to see the top of my head a few times here because they're all on the floor here. Oop. So from Awesome Books. So yeah, the majority of the books that I purchased from Awesome Books, I did buy a few new ones, but the majority of the used books were in actually pretty good shape. I have to say, there wasn't one that looked like it went through a tornado or anything like that. They're all in pretty good shape. So I have finished the second book in the Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. And I do have the third book, and I really wanted to get the physical copy of the fourth book, but it's still very expensive. It's just a fairly new release. But I was lucky to get my hands on a used copy from Awesome Books, a hardback of the fourth book and the last book in the series, The Last Devil to Die. And yeah, I've heard some of the book YouTubers that I follow quite a bit. When they read this, they said they're bawling their eyes out at the end. So yeah. But I really do enjoy the series. Now, this one, the cover, there's a few little rips and tears in the cover. Looks like someone took it on vacation or something. But the inside, little foxes there. The inside is in very good shape. But yeah, it just kind of got beaten up a little bit on the inside there. The outside, I should say. The other one that I really want to purchase was by Laura Purcell, and this is The Whispering Muse. So I read a couple of her books, and she does gothic mysteries so well. They're just so atmospheric. And even when I went to Scotland, I looked for this book in Waterstones and other bookstores, and I could not find this. So yeah, I got it on Awesome Books. Yeah, so most of these used books from Awesome Books was anywhere from maybe about $4 Canadian up to about $7 Canadian. Some were a little bit more, like The Last Devil to Die. Because it's so popular, I think I spent $10 Canadian for that one. But most of them were like 5 to 7 in that range. So yeah, she does Gothic novels just so well. And yeah, this takes place in a theater, and I think there's a murder or something. But yeah, I just, like I said, I'm not going to live in detail with all these synopses. But yeah, I've been trying to get my hands on that one for like a few years. And glad I finally got it. And this is the second book in a series. The first book is called Wages of Sin. And I did get the first book off Bookoutlet. And this is The Unquiet Heart, which is a sequel. So this follows Sarah Gilchrist, who is trying to become the first female medical student at Edinburgh University. And but everyone's expecting her to get married, etc., etc. And then she's involved in this, the murder and that. So yeah, I didn't even know there was a second book in that series. So happy to see that one. And this one, again, this is a used book, and it looks brand new. And this is Our Hideous Progeny by C.E. McGill. And that cover is just fabulous. And that's the inside. Yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful. So Mary is the great niece of Victor Frankenstein. She knows her great uncle disappeared in mysterious circumstances in the Arctic, and she doesn't know why. And then this takes place in the 1850s, and she's trying to make her name in the world of science along with her geologist husband, Henry. And then she discovers these old papers from her great uncle, and that she thinks she may have found the key to securing their future. So yeah, I've heard good things about that, and that cover is just absolutely gorgeous. So I just finished a Susan Meisner book. She does pretty good historical novels. So I just finished Only the Beautiful, which is her most recent release. And I found this one, Fall of Marigolds by Susan Meisner. And A Beautiful Scarf connects two women touched by tragedy. So it's a dual timeline, September 1911 on Ellis Island. It follows a particular woman, and then September of 2011, it also follows another woman, and there's some connection between this scarf between the two of them. And this is The Confession by Jessie Burton. So I read a couple of her books, and I really like how she does historical fiction. And I believe this is a dual timeline also. I love the cover, it's kind of cool. So yeah, I was wanting to get my hands on this one. Yeah, she did The Miniaturist, which I read. It's kind of a slow-paced historical novel. May not be for everyone, but I do like her writing style. And this is The Trial of Lotta Ray. And yeah, again, just they're all in very good shape, these books. So on Halloween night, this young working woman in 1906 is attacked by a wealthy gentleman. She seeks justice with her lawyer. So yeah, back then you had this poor working woman who is maybe attacked by a wealthy, well-to-do person. There's basically nothing you could do back then, but she does try to fight him in court. So I thought that sounded very interesting. And this is by Hannah Kent, The Devotion. So I read two of her books, Good People and, oh, what was that other one? Good People and, oh, I just hit a blank. But anyway, I really do like her writing style, and I really like how she does historical fiction. Again, they are slow-paced, but they're just so intriguing. So yeah, I could not find this book anywhere here in Canada, except if I ordered online. Oh, Burial Rights, that's the other book, Burial Rights. And yeah, so very happy to get hold of this one. Now this is a cozy mystery books, and Meg with Books, I really like her channel. She's just quite funny, and she absolutely loves this particular series. And again, I could get it off Amazon, but it costs a small fortune. But I found these used ones on Awesome Books, and I'm so happy to get hold of them. So I did get the first 3 books in the series, and these are Lady Hardcastle mysteries. So the first one is A Quiet Life in the Country, In the Market for Murder, and Death Around the Bend. So this, where is this? Lady Hardcastle is an eccentric widow with a secret past, and Florence is her maid and confidant and is an expert in martial arts. The year is 1908, and they just moved from London to the country hoping for a quiet life. But then there's a dead body found in the woods, and Lady Hardcastle and maid Florence investigate these murders. But yeah, I've heard really good things about these, and I was just so happy to finally get my hands on these. Alrighty. Ooh. Now these 4 books are by Karen Maitland, and quite a few years ago now. I think the first one I read of hers was published in like 2010, so it's been a while. But she does very good historical fiction. Some of them take place in the 12th, 13th century, some in the 15th, 16th century. But I just really love her writing style and just the atmosphere of the historical stories that she tells. So the first book I read of hers was, what was it? Just wait. They're on here somewhere. Oh, there we are. I knew they were somewhere. So The Company of Liars I've read, and The Owl Killers I have read. So yes, I am so excited to get these books from her. And this one is just beautiful. They have this kind of copper foil to it. This is The Falcons of Fire and Ice. So most of these take place in England, but I believe, oh, this is from Stoke-on-Trent Libraries. So that's kind of cool. I think this one takes place in Iceland and Portugal back in the 1500s. So yeah, I know if you watch my channel enough, you know I absolutely love history. So yeah, this takes place in those countries, and also on a ship in that, so very exciting. And this is The Plague Charmer. It's 1361. The plague returns, the price to pay to drive it away, a human life. And I think the first book I read of hers, Company of Liars, took place during the 13th century plague. And this is The Vanishing Witch. And this is around the reign of Richard II, and this is A Gathering of Ghosts. I hate snakes. I put snakes on covers. Oh, this takes place in 1316 on the wilds of Dartmoor Island. Stands the isolated priory of St. Mary, home to the Sisters of the Knight of St. John. And then these three strangers show up, and after that, things kind of go downhill from there. So very, very excited to get Karen Maitland books. Yeah, I've always wanted to keep reading that author, and so glad to get hold of those. Alrighty. Now, I did buy some new books from them also. Oh, so the shipping is, for the first book to ship is £3.50, which is about £5 Canadian. And then if you buy any subsequent books in that particular order, then it's just £1 to ship any other books. But I always get discounts, a 20% off discount. I use the Honey app, and I just click on the Honey app and I get 20% off any used books on the site. So even though I pay like maybe $5 to $7, I get 20% off there too. Just heads up, there's always coupons to use. And this is The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. And she wrote House of Hollow, which I read, and I actually really enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 4 or 4.5 star. So, yeah, I didn't even know there was a second book of hers coming out. So, yeah. And this is The Witch's Tree by Elena Collins. I believe this was another used book. And this takes place in 2 different time periods, 1682 and the present day. And it follows a woman who is a healer, and then she's accused of witchcraft. And then in present day, she goes back to the cottage where her ancestor lived. And this is Fine Shade by Kate Griffin. And yeah, I love UK covers. Sometimes North American covers are a little bit better, but I do love the UK covers sometimes. So this takes place in the past. I don't know exactly when, but Marta is at her grandma's funeral, and she discovers that she's become a governess to the young daughter of Sir William Pritchard. Yeah, and yeah, there's some mysteries going on. This one I've always wanted to read. This is by H.G. Perry, and I have read some of his books. This is The Magician's Daughter. And this, off the coast of Ireland, sits a legendary island hidden by magic, a place of ruins and ancient trees. It's the only home she's ever known. And one night, her caretaker, who's a magician, fails to return from his mysterious travels. So she has to venture outside her world for the first time to try to look for them. Heard very, very good things about that one. This is The Spirit Engineer by A.J. West. And yeah, this, I mean, you wouldn't even know this is a used book. And this takes place in Belfast, 1914. So 2 years after the sinking of the Titanic, high society has become obsessed with spiritualism, attending seances in hopes to reach departed loved ones. And William Crawford's a man of science and a skeptic. But one night, with everyone sitting around the circle, voices come to him. And this places doubt in his heart, and a seed of obsession is in his mind. And this is The Strange Adventures of H by Sarah Burton. And I have read a book of hers in the past. Do you think I can remember which one? But anyway, orphan young, H is sent to live with her doting aunt in London, and her life is a happy one until her cousin robs her of her innocence, and the plague takes away the city and the people that she loves. So she has to... during the play, she has to kind of look after herself and what happens there. And this cover is absolutely beautiful. This is The Stargazers by Harriet Evans. Sorry. The Garden of Lost and Found. So this is England 1918, and millions are queuing to see The Garden of Lost and Found, which is a painting. And so it kind of follows this particular woman who's kind of obsessed with this painting and the actual painter. This is Whisper Cottage by Anne Wynne Clark. And so this woman and her child moved to an old rural cottage, and they're hoping for a fresh start. And the mother sees this mysterious figure in the widow's garden, and her happy new life begins to unravel. And this is The Witches of Vardo. So I'm kind of obsessed by witchy kind of stories. This one actually takes place not in England, but in Norway in 1662. And it's a dangerous time to be a woman, even when dancing can lead to accusations of witchcraft. So this woman is accused of being a witch, and she tries to kind of run away and try to claim her innocence and that. And this is by S.D. Sykes. This is an Oswald de Lacy novel. So I have read the first 2 books in this series. I think this is the 5th or 6th book. And yeah, again, I didn't even know this one was released. But yeah, it takes place in 1370, and it's this kind of lord of the manor. He's quite young because his father and older brothers died of the plague, so he's kind of taking over when he was quite young. And there's always a mystery involved, but I really, really like these books. Alrighty, and there's The Secrets of Thistle Cottage by Carrie Barrett. And so yeah, this woman and her daughter are summoned to the town lord's wife, but they're too late to save her, and then they're accused of witchcraft. And then it takes place in present day. I think it's on an island off the coast of Scotland or something. But yeah, I love those dual timeline. And this is Vida and the Birds. I just absolutely love this cover. And this takes place on dual timelines also in 1938. This woman falls in love with this other woman, and but her brother is pressuring her to marry, and then it takes place in 1997. And follows the one woman's granddaughter. And this one was so cute, by Damien Dibben. This is Tomorrow. Such a cute cover. So Valentine has lived many lives, physician, philosopher, soldier, but his defining work has been his ability to stop the clock. He has lived for a century, and his dog Tomorrow. So they followed their adventures, this gentleman who's lived for centuries and his dog Tomorrow. And The Winter Spirits, Ghostly Tales for Frosty Nights. So this is a series of books by different authors: Bridget Collins, Kieran Hardgrave, Jess Kidd, Natasha Pulley, Laura Purcell, who I love, Stuart Turton, Katrina Ward. So a lot of these authors I have read, so I'm looking forward to those short stories. And then presently I am reading The Luminaries. So I'm about 60 pages in, and it's kind of a YA fantasy fiction, which I'm enjoying so far. And then I found The Hunting Moon at Awesome Books there also, and love the covers. And this is The Sewing Machine, 2 Families, 3 Secrets, Millions of Stitches. And yeah, this follows 100 years after his grandmother's sewing machine was made. Fred discovers a treasure trove of documents. His family history is laid out before him. So he starts to unpick the secrets of 4 generations, one stitch at a time. Alrighty, what else do I got in here? I've got quite a bit. This is The Night Child by Sally Magnuson. And this takes place in the Highland Wilderness in 1856. And it follows a young doctor's wife grieving the loss of her unborn children. And yeah, anything in the Scottish Highlands, I'm there. And this is The Misbegotten by Catherine Webb. So this one has a few little creased edges, but otherwise, I mean, it's no big deal. Oh, this takes place in Bath, 1821, and a woman is escaping her unhappy employment as a governess by marrying a self-made businessman. But soon her life takes an unexpected turn. And this is The Illusions by Liz Hyder. Bristol, 1896. As a legendary illusionist prepares for his final performance, the young assistant discovers she possesses a touch of the impossible. And what else do we got in here? Sorry. Oh, The Daughters of Red Hill Hall. So Gemma discovers a pair of ancient dueling pistols encrusted with rubies in the basement of the local museum. And then back in 1838, two sisters were found shot in the cellars of Red Hill Hall. And then Gemma starts figuring out what happened to them. And this is Now She Is Witch by Kirsty Logan. Again, like, it's just in perfect condition, this book. She dug her mother's grave in the poison garden so it would stay hidden. Anyway, a woman grasps at power through witchcraft and performance, and anyway, kind of a witchy book anyhow. I can't remember what some of these even. And then this is A Bitter Remedy by Alice Hawkins. Undergraduate Sidney Parker's found dead at his lodgings, and medical examination reveals some shocking findings. But anyway, these two people, I think it takes place in, I can't remember. It's been a while since I got this one anyhow. It takes place in 1881 anyhow, I think in Scotland. But anyway, I love mysteries that take place in Scotland, Ireland, Wales, what have you, and in the past too. I think, I don't know, mysteries and everything are just so much better in the past. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I think that's it. Yeah, I got quite a bit. But yeah, I'm so happy to finally get hold of these, and I just love the atmosphere of the historical novels and like gothic kind of spooky tales, and I love dual timelines. And yeah, so I finally got hold of some of these books I've been wanting for years. I just can't find anywhere. So yeah, if you're looking for a book that you cannot find anywhere, try Awesome Books. They have quite a huge selection. And but anyway, before my camera overheats again, I better say goodbye. So anyway, sorry I didn't go, I went through some of these quite quickly, but again, certainly I always go to Goodreads to look up reviews and the better synopsis anyhow. So anyway, everyone take care, happy reading, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.